So guys, as you can see from the title of the video, bro, we have something important to talk about now. There's reports floating around all over social media, all over the internet, news, everybody's talking about it. There's reports that Bronny James has officially entered the transfer portal. This news was broke by this guy Hoops Weiss, if that's how you pronounce his name. He said that USC freshman guard Bronny James is entering the transfer portal. Good for him. Needs to get away from the Hollywood hype. Best of luck to LeBron's kid. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this report is actually floating around, and it actually hasn't come out from Bronny James himself that he is going to be entering into the transfer portal and he's not going to be going to the NBA. He's not entering his name in the draft, or he's not coming back to USC. I've also seen reports that Bronny James's name is not officially in the transfer portal. People had a chance to look at all the names that was in the portal and they didn't see Bronny James in there. So that's why I personally wasn't quick to jump on this report. And LeBron James, after his win against the Toronto Raptors, he sat down with the media and he even said it himself that he has no idea. He doesn't even know where this news even came from, who even broke the news. But LeBron James said, I quote, that I don't know where this news came from, but at the end of the day, Bronny is his own man and he has some tough decisions to make. When he's ready to make those decisions, he will let us all know. But as his family, we're going to support whatever he does. Now, you guys can believe whatever report you guys want to believe on the internet. You guys can follow the trend. Do what you please. But me personally, I'm not going to believe Bronny James's name is officially in the portal until he himself says that he's going to be entering his name into the transfer portal. I mean, if his own dad, like, really think about it for a second, bro. It's kind of funny to even think about. If his own dad is saying that, he doesn't know where this news even came from. How can we be so quick to even believe that he's officially entering his name into the transfer portal? Now, this is not me saying that his name is not in the portal, or he never announced, or he's not making a decision or anything like that. I'm just saying that until Bronny James says it himself, or LeBron James or his camp, somebody from his camp actually comes out and says that Bronny James is not entering his name in the portal, then, you know, we can speculate from there. But right now, we don't officially know. However, since everybody and their mama is talking about it, since this is still up in the air, since this is an actual possibility that could occur for Bronny James, since he hasn't officially announced that he's not going to the NBA, or if he is going to the NBA, I think we can still talk about it. What do you guys think Bronny James should do? Should Bronny James leave USC and declare for the NBA draft? Should he stay at USC? Should he go overseas, or should he go to another college? Like I said, I do want to talk about this since this is still up in the air. And I genuinely feel like there's a lot of different options that Bronny James could really look at. And I want to break down the best school options that he has, if he should go to the NBA, if he should stay at USC, kind of give you a real genuine breakdown of what Bronny James should do, or what you guys should expect. Now, me personally, if you want my complete honest opinion, I think that Bronny James should declare for the NBA draft. I know, guys, I know you guys are going to say, oh, he only averaged 4 points a game. He only did this. He barely even did anything. He's not a factor on the court. He doesn't have that dog. Guys, trust me, bro. Like I said in my previous video that I covered on Bronny James, I've been covering Bronny, bro. If you're an OG on this channel, I've been covering Bronny for years on this channel. I understand the type of player that this man Bronny James inside and out. I can give you a quick 10-second breakdown of who this man Bronny James is. Bronny James is a guy that is a very passive player. He's not going to overextend himself on the court. He's not going to take initiative in any specific moment on the court, whether it's offense, whether it's defense. He's not a guy that you can just give the ball to and say, go get me a bucket. He will pass a lot of open shots. He's too much of an unselfish player, which in my personal opinion kind of hinders his success as far as the type of player that he can be. I personally think Bronny James has the tools and tangibles to be a great NBA player, be a great college player, but I think he himself is holding himself back of the type of player that he can be, because I do think he's actually skilled enough to do it. He's just not aggressive. Like, I don't know how to explain it in any other way. Like, if you want to shoot your shot at a girl in a DM and you're just, imagine somebody who's just scared to talk to girls and they just keep talking about how fine this girl is, but they're just never going to actually pursue and go talk to her. That's kind of how Bronny James is on the court. He has all the tools. He can talk about everything that he can do. People can, you know, rave him up, say he's a team player, he's a great role player, this and that, but he's not himself. He's not going to go out there and be assertive on the floor. I believe the most points he even scored at USC was only 15 points a game. He had a lot of 2-point games, a lot of 0-point games. He's not the biggest X factor out there on the floor, and that's why I'm always confused as to who is in his corner. How is LeBron James not kind of seeing this for Bronny? How does he not look at the player that Bronny James is and just tell him, like, bro, just shoot the ball? That's it. We just want you to shoot the ball, Bronny. That is it. We don't need you to go out there and drop. Like, we're not expecting you to drop 20, 30 points a game. We just want you to shoot the ball, be assertive. Don't be a Ben Simmons out there on the floor. Like, that's just the type of player that you can't be. And I feel like that's how Bronny James is, especially on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of things he definitely needs to polish up. But the reason I am saying go to the NBA is just because, like I mentioned, bro, nobody's just ever completely ready for the NBA. If you look at all the draft picks each year, there's 60 players drafted. A lot of those guys don't even stay in the league. A lot of them don't get rotation minutes. A lot of them go to the G League. A lot of them sit on the bench. A lot of guys don't play in the league. So you might as well, if you're Bronny, go to the league, start your development early, potentially get drafted by the Lakers. You have a storyline there. And you know, LeBron's going to give Bronny James minutes. He's not going to go to the G League or anything like that. So I think Bronny James should start his NBA career early, and I think that will definitely do him justice. However, now on the flip side, let's just say that Bronny James decides that he wants to actually stay in college. Should he stay at USC or should he go to another program? Me personally, this man needs to go far, far, far and away from USC. I just don't think that program suits Bronny James. I understand the decision. Obviously, he wanted to stay home. He wanted to stay close to family. They had the #1 player coming in last year, Isaiah Kohler and whatnot. But that team just never complimented Bronny James well, especially with Isaiah Kohler being the main ball dominant type of player. And Bronny James kind of has to play off the ball. Like I mentioned, that is something that he's going to have to do probably in the NBA. But just the offense being ran through Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Kohler, it just didn't work well for Bronny. And I personally think Bronny James would be very successful in a system where he's playing with other great veteran team players. And by veteran team players, I mean teams like UConn. I mean teams like Duke. I mean teams like Michigan State. I mean teams like Arizona, the Tennessees of the world. Like those types of programs. I don't think Bronny James is going to excel if he goes to a smaller D1 school like Duquesne, DeQuince, however you pronounce it, or some of these other programs. I know I always see a lot of people saying that, oh, Bronny James needs to go to a team where he's the guy, the offense is running through him. Yes, that's cool, but I just don't think that's what Bronny James is. And I do think a lot of people are going to be disappointed if Bronny James decides to go that route and it doesn't translate well, just because Bronny James has never been known as a scorer. I'm not saying that in a negative light or it's a bad thing, but that's just not the type of player, you know, that he is. And there's always going to be people hating on Bronny. If he goes to a smaller school, they're going to be like, oh, he's going to a mid-major, da-da-da-da-da. Bronny James needs to go to a big-time school that has other great players and play the exact role like a Stephon Castle on UConn, bro. Same thing with Jared McCain. Bronny James needs to try to find a team where he can play that role for a team. The pressure is not really on him. The team is going to win. And he just has to play that role where he comes in, he's an all-around great player, and he just becomes a lot more aggressive. That's personally what I think that Bronny James should do. And I think that's going to definitely make him a lot more successful in college. And I think by playing with other great, you know, veteran players that kind of suits his play style, you know, I definitely think that he can showcase the type of player that he possibly can be. That's just me personally, though. Overall, though, at the end of the day, like I said, Bronny James hasn't officially announced that he's going to be transferring out of USC or he's going to be declaring for the NBA draft. But in case that he is, this is what I personally think he should do. You watching this video, though, what do you guys personally think that Bronny James should do? Should he stay? Should he go to the NBA? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.